Man, I don't know about you guys, but this stuff coming out of Vancouver is wild. I don't really know if I've seen a time, at least in recent history that I can remember, where it was like this out in the open, like drama in a locker room, right? Maybe, again, leave your comments. If you guys know a situation that was like that, I just can't remember one like this in recent history. You know, another point, though, is a lot of people, I think, overlook completely the gelling of a locker room in the National Hockey League. And I have always said it's very important, right? Like, you have a lot of analytics guys, right? And analytics are very important in hockey. I don't think that they should be discounted by any means. But they almost overlook the gelling of a locker room and how stuff like this can truly affect a team, especially when you have top stars that are beefing, right? So, you know, you even look at Matthews, Marner, and Nylander, you know, they're yelling at each other on the bench. I'm sure there's been a lot more beef that we don't know about in the Leafs. But yes, so yesterday, Elliot Friedman on his Saturday segments, in Sportsnet was essentially just like, yeah, there's a lot of beef going on there. I mean, long story short, he was talking about how it was starting to affect JT Miller and Pettersson's play on the ice. And listen, JT Miller is how can I say, this guy's got a lot of fire to him, right? Like, he's a very fiery guy. And Elias Pettersson is known, in my opinion at least, as he's a little bit of like a head case, right? Like, I don't know. He seems to have his own issues, so it's actually not that. It's actually not that shocking that they're having issues. But here's the thing: the Vancouver Canucks are a good quality hockey team, right? Like, they've had a pretty good start. Like, I understand that they're fourth in the division, but they've still had a pretty good start to their season, and you shouldn't let this derail your season. I understand, though, that Elias Pettersson isn't having the best start to a season, but this is a guy that isn't even that removed from having like 100-point season. He had an above point per game, season. I really, really hope that this doesn't continue to derail Elias Pettersson's season. Now, JT Miller actually today did touch on the rumor swirling. Listen, the media is obviously going to ask. And essentially he was just saying, like, I'm not bothered by it, whatever. It seemed almost like he was even denying that it was even happening, like there was something going on, between, in the locker room, let's put it that way. Pretty interesting interview anyway. And then we have Elias Pettersson with his quote today saying, I don't know why people are making, expletive up, that's still going on. It doesn't really seem like people are making stuff up, though. Like, I'm sorry, I gotta push back on this. Like, at the end of the day, they're NHL players, and NHL players are all the same. They are not going to, they're not gonna bring things out in the media unless they absolutely have to. NHL players are some of the most robotic and uninteresting players of really any pro sport. Like, it's just obviously true, right? It is what it is here. Obviously something is going on. I don't know about you guys, but watching the interviews, in my opinion, sounds super awkward. A lot of people, they kind of hear teams say that, and then a lot of fans will be like, oh, well, I guess nothing's going on, whatever. Just because a team is saying something doesn't mean it's happening. And hey, listen, just because the media is saying something doesn't mean it's happening either, right? It could be, you never know what's happening, but this is awkward, dude. It just seems awkward to me. I don't know, watching these interviews, it just comes off as weird. And even Rick Talk did touch on it. I've heard rumors of that stuff. I didn't even know it was a story, blah, blah, blah. It's just classic NHL player stuff. Oh, I didn't know about that, right? Come on. Like, obviously, if Elliot Friedman knows something, then something's happening. And he, again, when you listen to his Saturday headlines segment, he was alluding to the fact that, like, hey, listen, the management wants these players to work it out. The Canucks are a better team with both of these players, which is obviously true, right? Like, these are both very good players. The people that want to trade Elias Pettersson, I think they're personally crazy, unless you're going to get a lot. JT Miller's a really good player. You know what I mean? The Canucks are a good quality team, so they obviously want this team to work it out. Duh. But again, he was alluding to the fact that, you know, if they can't work it out, then they're going to... He was alluding to the fact that they were going to have to make some kind of move, essentially, right? You know, so this is what the information that he is getting is clearly from management's perspective. That's the way that I took it. And Rick Tocchet in that interview is right. He says that, quote, winning fixes everything. And that is, it's facts, man. Winning fixes literally everything. You know, you just got to start playing better, in my opinion. Not in my opinion, everybody's opinion. And the Canucks have split up Miller and Pettersson on the power play. You know, it obviously it's play on the ice that these guys are disagreeing about. There's something probably going on maybe their special teams, or whether they, you know, have offensive disagreements. Like, again, when players aren't scoring, you know, they start to disagree about a lot of things. Hey, you stand there. Hey, I stand here. What the hell are you doing? Why didn't you pass here? You know, you have to make better plays over here. Like, at the end of the day, this is a performance thing, obviously. And, you know, offensive players are always going to be like this, right? They're always going to be like this. They're always going to be kind of bitching and, you know, oh, this player's not playing good on my wing, getting him off, stuff like that. That's probably all that's happening. But if it's going to really affect their on-ice play, they need to get it together immediately, in my opinion. Like, the Vancouver Canucks, again, the organization is bigger than any one player. Anyways, that's my take on it. I'm going to leave this there. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, guys, I would really appreciate it. It means a lot to me personally. And have a great day, guys. Goodbye.